If you're a pitcher throwing between 75 and 85, this might be the most important video that you watch all year, because today we're talking about pull downs. The one tool that every high velocity pitcher uses. And it's the one tool that most pitchers avoid because they've been convinced that it's too dangerous. Pull downs are the #1 way to unlock your most athletic mechanics, and the #1 way to keep your arm healthy long term. And by the end of this video, you're gonna understand exactly why. And real quick, so you know I'm not speaking from theory, I trained myself from the low 80s to the low 90s by learning how to move like an athlete again. And I've helped hundreds of pitchers make the same transformation. Guys like Cage, guys like Jimmy, guys like Sebastian, and guys like Kyle, who have all gained 5 miles per hour or more inside of my athletic mechanics formula. And every single pitcher that I train does pull downs in some form. Most pitchers today are stuck for one reason. They're overly mechanical. They're throwing slow in practice, and then they show up slow in games. They're thinking about 10 different cues. They're pausing at a balance point. They're trying to hit positions, and they're spending their entire week trying to be perfect. There's no intent, there's no speed, and there's no athleticism. Your body never learns how to move fast. And to be honest with you, a lot of that comes from fear. Fear of hurting your arm, fear of going too hard, and just fear of pull downs overall. So today I'm here to point you in the right direction. Okay, we're gonna start with how pull downs can help you gain velocity, because in reality, when done correctly, pull downs are one of the best ways to throw harder. And I'm gonna break this angle down into 3 parts, with the first being how they unlock your natural mechanics. So what pull downs do is they take you out of your mechanics, okay? And what they do is they put you into athletic movement. You're not thinking lead with the hip. You're not thinking stay closed. You're not thinking about hitting a certain position. You're just moving fast towards a target with an external focus. And when the focus is external, your body can automatically sequence itself. You rotate better, your lower half works better, and your timing cleans up without even thinking about it. Most pitchers don't need better mechanics. They need fewer mechanical cues and more athletic freedom. Okay, here's the truth that nobody likes hearing. You can't throw fast by throwing slow. I will say that again. You cannot learn to throw fast by throwing slow. Think of pull downs like sprinting for your arm. They teach your nervous system a new ceiling, they expose your body to actual speed, and they force output. And once your arm has experienced that speed, your mound velocity oftentimes can shoot up without changing anything else. Every athlete that I've trained has seen some sort of carryover to the mound from doing pull downs. Okay, so reason number 3 is momentum and energy transfer. Now, the biggest flaw that I see in guys throwing between 75 and 85 is that they have no momentum. Oftentimes they move slow, they're told to stay tall, they try to come to a balance point, and they land soft. Pull downs are able to address these issues instantly. When you start to move downhill with intent, your body finally understands what real momentum feels like. And with momentum comes better direction, better timing, better sequencing, and natural hip to shoulder separation. Like, there are so many guys out there who think that separation is something that you can just drill into your mechanics, when it's not. It's something that happens as a byproduct to athletic movement. And pull downs are able to expose you to that instantly. You cannot cue those things into existence. You have to experience them. Okay, here's something that most people get completely wrong. Pull downs, done correctly, can make your arm so much healthier. And I'm gonna break this angle down into 3 separate reasons. Reason number 1 is tissue tolerance. Your arm adapts to what it's exposed to. If you only throw slow, your tissues have no reason to get stronger. So as a result, they stay weak. But when you expose the arm to controlled speed, the soft tissue becomes more durable because it has a reason to. It's the same exact reason why sprinting bulletproofs your hamstrings. Now, yes, I am aware that there are other factors that go into bulletproofing your arm and bulletproofing your hamstrings. But slow volume does not increase durability. Speed exposure does. Most pitchers get hurt, not because they throw hard, but because they throw like robots. They're stiff, they don't rotate well, and they don't decelerate well. Pulldowns can fix all of that naturally. You get natural layback from momentum, way more than you would see with any robotic pitching drill. You get natural deceleration because your whole body is moving forward, and pulldowns are one of the best ways to train your lead leg block, and then you stop breaking with the elbow or the shoulder. Contrary to popular belief, but less stress and a healthier arm. One of the biggest reasons why pulldowns are so vilified is because people have no idea when to do them. And later in this video, I'm gonna explain exactly when you should add pulldowns into your routine. Okay, this point right here is massive. Tension is actually what causes injuries. When you're overthinking your mechanics, you tighten up. You restrict your range of motion, you lose rhythm, and something eventually gets irritated. Pulldowns remove tension because you're moving fast and free. You're letting your body sync up how it naturally wants to. And this makes your pitching mechanics automatic. And listen, before this gets taken out of context, I am not saying that your mechanics don't matter. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you take the time to focus on perfecting mechanics before you actually build an athletic base and a body that can handle high velocity throwing, then you are wasting your time. Pulldowns done correctly are one of the best ways to do both of those things, to make sure you actually have a body and have an arm that can handle a 90+ mile/hour fastball. This stuff is exactly what I needed to hear when I was throwing 80 poo as a sophomore in high school, and it's what you guys need to hear. And it is exactly what I teach inside my athletic mechanics formula. But moving on, here's how to program them correctly. Start with once a week. If you've never done pulldowns before, you're gonna be pretty sore the next day, and that is completely normal. If you have never done something before and you jump right into it, your body is not used to it yet, so it's gonna be a pretty big shock, but that's good. That is what we want, especially if we're doing them for the first time. And then once you get comfortable with doing them once a week and you're not really getting sore after them, you can build up to doing them 2 or sometimes 3 times a week, depending on if you're in season or in the off season. I think 2 times a week is a perfect amount for doing pulldowns. And you wanna keep the reps pretty low. You don't wanna be doing 15, 20 pulldowns in any given session. In the beginning, you should start out with 3 to 6 throws per session, and then you can work up to your 8, 10, and maybe even 12 throw sessions. And we want to make sure we keep our aggression controlled with these. And what I mean by that exactly is we want to keep these pretty smooth for the most part. You don't want to absolutely dead sprint and tense up, because then you're removing the intention of the entire drill, which is to be smooth, loose, athletic, and fast. Okay, so you want to make sure there's no tension in your body, and we really just want to be focusing on moving that arm as fast as we possibly can to produce the highest velocity throw that you possibly can. And another note to add with pulldowns, you want to have a radar gun on hand if possible. Like, you can do pulldowns coming in from long toss and get the same effect, but having a radar gun present so you can actually log how fast your throws are and then try to beat those numbers week to week is super, super helpful to know if you're actually making progress. And then what you can do is replace most of the drills you're doing with pulldowns. Like I said before, you probably do need to clean up your mechanics to some degree, but just focusing on drill work at really low intensities is going to do more harm than it is good. So focusing on being an athlete first and building that base is going to be so much more beneficial than the low velocity, low intensity cookie cutter drills that you got from Instagram. Throw them away. Look, if you're done throwing 82, if you're done guessing, and you're ready for a real plan that actually gets you throwing harder while staying healthy, then click the first link in the description below and book a call with me. We'll talk about where you're at, map out where you want to go, and I will build you the plan to get you there. Just like I did for Cage, just like I did for Nolan, just like I did for Sebastian, and the hundreds of other pitchers that have joined the Athletic Mechanics formula.